I'm Stephanie Nichols. I am a licensed clinical social worker in the state of Georgia. I'm also the owner and lead therapist at Mindful Therapy Works. It's a small private practice, or it's a private practice that I started on my own a couple years ago. And I mainly provide mental health therapy, psychotherapy, talk therapy to those who are struggling with anxiety and depression, along with people who just have difficulties managing stress and life adjustments. A lot of my presentations, I start with trying to debunk those myths and those stereotypes. A lot of people think social workers should look a certain way, work a certain place, and, supposed to behave a certain way. And most of what we see is portrayed in the media, in TV, where your social workers mostly work for Department of Family Children's Services, those type settings. And social workers are needed everywhere, and we're valuable in most sectors. You can see social workers at the macro level trying to change government policy, helping enact laws. And then you can see it at the clinical level, like me, providing mental health therapy. And there's so much in between: discharge planning, substance abuse treatment, adoption, foster home placement. There are many roles one can take with the social work profession. And that's what I love about it so much, that you can go everywhere. Well, the process really starts over the phone. That's the very first step of the process. Calling in, admitting that you need some help. So that's awesome to get someone on the phone. But on the phone, we start filtering to see if I am a good match for that person, because rapport is number one with change within a person, rapport with their therapist. So we start on the phone doing like a general intake, seeing if I can meet your needs. And then from then on, I would send some assessments and measures to just see how you're doing using different scales, preparing you to start thinking about why you're coming into therapy. You come in for the first session, fill out your HIPAA-compliant paperwork. We work just like a doctor's office. Everything's confidential. And that first session or two is really rapport building, you giving me a lot of information, and then we start building on your treatment goals, like goals that an individual wants to accomplish. Sometimes people come in and they know what they want to work on, and other times, they need a little help figuring that out, a little guidance, and I do that as well. And then from there, you come to therapy as needed, once a week, every other week. It's not a long-term thing. It doesn't have to be if you don't need it to be. Well, it's a journey, so to speak. I've always had a love for helping people, serving people, and as I was matriculating through my undergraduate program, there were different courses I was taking towards graduation that had a lot of aha moments: marriage and family relationships, family systems, and I started learning about just how connected we are and how environment shapes us and our upbringing shapes us. And so I knew I was kind of on the right path of study in undergrad because I was loving what I was learning, and social work was introduced to me, and I pursued it in my graduate studies, and I loved all the courses there. So I knew that was the right path. I feel like social work, and mental health chose me. So that's kind of the first layer of that. And my parents are immigrants. My mom's from Haiti and my dad is from St. Lucia. So I'm very just sensitive to the needs of people who are different, populations who are marginalized or oppressed, and social work, their ethics and what we stand for is providing a voice to the voiceless. So just by my upbringing alone, kind of led me to pursue social work and mental health therapy and things like that. And then the last part of my journey is really when I started getting like in the trenches. That's what they say in social work, when you're in the trenches. And once I started doing the work, I just saw that people were hurting and having difficulties on various levels, be it, adolescents, children, or older adults. People have some of the same hurts, trauma, grief, a lot that's unresolved, a lot that people just did not take care of over the years. It's festered, and behaviors have come up that they're just not happy with. And as I started doing the work, I just saw how much getting therapy was beneficial to the individuals that saw me. And I just knew that, this was a course I wanted to stay on and continue. And so the journey to here has just been faceted. Yeah, I think being an entrepreneur comes with a whole different set of challenges all on its own. So the biggest challenge really is just maintaining self-care, making sure that I'm taking care of myself after pouring into everyone and working and giving back to everyone. My support system comprises of my family, of course, friends, my entrepreneurial friends. It's very important to have like-minded people in your corner. So I have a lot of entrepreneurial women who are business women that I can, banter back and forth with, share ideas, and they support me. My husband, he's been my number one support. He has encouraged me and pushed me to open my private practice. And so I can always lean on him on good days and bad days. And so my husband is my biggest cheerleader, always has been. And you just need those people in your corner. You need those people to kind of get out your own head, and, you're helping other people. So it's okay to reach out and do some fun things with some others. So. Yeah, mine is feel the fear, have the doubts, do it anyway. That is my quote that I love, that I try to go by, especially I found it during my entrepreneurial journey. And whenever I'm in a difficult place, a stuck place, an anxious place, I repeat that to myself, and that pushes me to do whatever I need to do. I just, really want people to see mental health as something that is just normal. It's nothing that needs to be long-term. We all have difficulties in different parts of our lives. It needs to be addressed. The data shows that some mental health issues start coming up in adolescence and fully emerges by young adulthood. So prevention, early intervention is key to living successful lives, adulthood and above. So I just want people to just take care of themselves and not fall into the stigma or the shame that they may be carrying when times or the mental health isn't sound.